answers to common questions about friendship. Some are, well, super basic.
And others are much more developed, offering a real glimpse into the person's world.
So we'll compare these simpler, let's call them Band 5 answers,
with the more developed Band 8-9 ones, across a bunch of different friendship questions.
Okay, let's dive in. First question. Do you have a lot of friends?
Okay, the Band 5 response is pretty straightforward. Yes, I have many friends. We meet sometimes and talk.
It answers the question technically, but it doesn't really tell you much, does it?
Not really.
Many could be anything. Sometimes it's super vague and talk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's generally what happens.
And the sentence structure is quite repetitive, short, simple statements.
Doesn't exactly paint a picture. Now compare that to the Band 8-9 one.
Right. I wouldn't say I have a large number of friends, but I do have a small group I'm very close to. We try to catch up regularly despite our busy schedules.
See the difference immediately. It's not just yes. There's nuance there. Not a large number, but a small group.
And the phrase very close to adds that layer of depth. It suggests quality over quantity.
Which feels very relatable, I think, especially as people get older. That shift often happens.
It does. And notice the qualifier, despite our busy schedules.
Yeah, what does that add?
Well, it implies effort, right? It suggests these friendships are important enough to consciously maintain, even when life gets hectic. That says a lot.
Good point. So the key takeaway here for you listening is maybe think beyond just yes or no.
Exactly. How can you add a little detail, a bit of that nuance, to give a clearer, more insightful picture of your friendships?
Okay, great start. Let's move to the next one. What do you usually do with your friends?
The Band 5 here is basically a list. We eat food, go shop, watch movie.
Short and functional, maybe.
Yeah.
But the phrasing feels a bit off, doesn't it?
It does. Eat food, go shop. It's not quite natural English phrasing for those activities.
Right. And there are no connectors, like and or. It just feels like a choppy list.
Precisely. Now let's hear the Band 8-9 version.
Okay. We usually go out for meals or catch a movie when we get the chance. Sometimes we just stay in and talk for hours.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy the most.
See the difference? Much smoother flow with or and when we get the chance. That feels more realistic.
Yeah. And catch a movie sounds more natural than watch movie.
Definitely. But what really elevates this answer is that last part.
The personal touch.
Exactly. Sometimes we just stay in and talk for hours. That's what I enjoy the most. That little addition tells you something significant about the speaker and what they value in friendship. The connection itself.
It makes it much more engaging, gives you a glimpse into their personality. So for you, the listener, the tip here is maybe use more varied words.
Yes, and use those connecting words to make it flow better. And don't hesitate to add a bit of your own feeling, like why you enjoy doing certain things.
Makes sense. Okay, question 3. Who is your best friend and why?
The Band 5 answer. My best friend is Min Yo. He is funny. I like him.
Okay. Names the friend, gives one reason. But funny is pretty general, isn't it?
Very general. And I like him. Well, you'd hope so if he's your best friend. It feels quite surface level, almost childlike.
Doesn't give much insight into the why of the friendship.
Right. Now, the Band 8-9. My best friend is Min Yo, someone I've known since middle school. He's incredibly dependable and always knows how to cheer me up when I'm down.
Okay. Much richer. That little bit of context, someone I've known since middle school, immediately adds weight. Suggests history, a deep connection.
Exactly. And look at the qualities mentioned. Not just funny, but incredibly dependable.
That's specific.
And always knows how to cheer me up when I'm down.
Yeah.
That shows the impact he has. It speaks to the support and understanding in the friendship.
So it's not just listing traits, it's showing their significance.
Yeah.
The takeaway seems to be about providing context and specifics.
Precisely. Give reasons, give context, move beyond simple adjectives, and show why that person is important. Illustrate the depth.
That makes sense. Okay, question 4. How often do you see your friends?
The Band 5 here is quite abrupt. Not much. I am busy, sometimes weekend.
Yeah, very fragmented. Gets the basic idea across infrequent meetings, but the grammar is shaky.
Sometimes weekend isn't really a complete phrase, is it? And not much is incredibly vague. How often is that, really?
No clear time references. Okay, let's hear the Band 8-9.
These days, I don't get to see my friends very often because of work. We usually meet about twice a month, mostly on weekends.
Much clearer. It starts with a time frame these days.
And gives a reason because of work, which is, a very common reality for adults.
True. And then it gets specific about the frequency.
Right. About twice a month. And even clarifies when, mostly on weekends. This gives you a concrete sense of their social pattern.
It just feels more complete and informative.
So the lesson here, use complete sentences. And adding specific time references makes a huge difference in clarity.
Definitely. Precision helps. Okay, next. What kind of person is easy to become friends with?
The Band 5 answer lists some traits. Kind person, like talk, not angry.
Okay, positive traits. But again, it's a bit like a shopping list, isn't it?
It is. The ideas feel disconnected, the vocabulary's basic, and there's no explanation why these traits make someone easy to befriend.
Right. Now, the Band 8-9 version.
I find it easy to make friends with people who are approachable and have a good sense of humor. It helps a lot if they're open to new experiences, too.
Okay, approachable and good sense of humor. Those are more descriptive adjectives. They paint a clearer picture.
Approachable suggests someone who signals they're open to interaction, making that first step easier.
And good sense of humor implies pleasant interactions. Then there's that extra bit.
It helps a lot if they're open to new experiences, too. That adds another dimension, suggesting shared activities or adventures could be part of the bonding process.
So it's moving beyond just static traits to hint at the dynamics of interaction.
Exactly. It suggests how these qualities actually facilitate friendship. So for you listening, think about using richer descriptions and maybe hinting at how those qualities play out in forming connections.
Great point. Let's look at question 6. What qualities do you value most in a friend?
Pan 5 gives us good, helpful, not lie.
Very basic words there. Again, it's a list, no explanation. Not lie is a bit blunt.
It lacks sophistication, yes. Now, the Band 8-9 response. I really value honesty, loyalty, and a good sense of empathy. It's important to me that a friend is someone I can rely on and talk to about anything.
Okay, slightly more advanced vocabulary. Loyalty, empathy.
True, but the key difference is the second sentence.
The explanation.
Yes. It explains why those qualities matter to the speaker. It's important to me that a friend is someone I can rely on and talk to about anything. It links the abstract qualities to the speaker's personal needs in a friendship: trust, support, confiding.
It shows self-awareness about what they need from a friendship. So it's not just listing words, but explaining their personal significance.
That's the key. Elaborate. Explain why you value certain things. It adds depth and meaning.
Got it. Okay, question 7 asks about changes. Have your friendships changed since you were younger?
The Band 5 is brief again. Yes. Before play every day, now no time.
Gets the point across, I suppose. But weak grammar, no real structure.
Right. Before play every day and now no time are quite fragmented. Doesn't give much insight into the how or why of the change.
Very abrupt. Okay, the Band 8-9.
Definitely. When I was younger, I used to spend nearly every day with my friends. Now, with everyone busy working or studying, we talk less often but still stay in touch.
Much better. Clear time markers. When I was younger, now. That sets up the contrast perfectly.
And it provides a reason for the shift, everyone busy working or studying. That's a highly relatable explanation for the changing nature of friendships in adulthood.
Absolutely. I feel that one. Seeing friends daily versus scheduling things weeks in advance.
It's a common transition. And notice the nuance at the end. We talk less often but still stay in touch.
Right. It acknowledges the change in frequency, but affirms the connection remains.
It suggests adaptation rather than complete loss. So, the takeaway. Use those time markers, provide reasons for changes. It makes the narrative much clearer.
Makes sense. Moving on, question 8. Do you prefer to have one close friend or a group of friends?
The Band 5 gives a preference and simple reasons. One friend, easy talk. Group is noisy.
Direct. But easy talk is a bit vague, and group is noisy feels like a simplification, doesn't it?
It does. It doesn't really capture the potential complexities or benefits of group dynamics versus one-on-one interaction.
Okay, how does the Band 8-9 handle it?
I prefer having one or two close friends rather than a big group. I feel more comfortable opening up in a more personal setting, and deeper connections are easier to build that way.
Okay. The reasoning is much more developed. It's not just about noise.
Exactly. It connects the preference to the speaker's comfort level, more comfortable opening up, and their relationship goals, deeper connections.
It explains the why behind the preference based on personal feelings and desired intimacy.
Precisely. So when stating a preference, try to explain the underlying reasons. Go beyond the surface level.
Good advice. Question 9 tackles a potentially tricky comparison. Which is more important to you, friends or family?
The Band 5 answer is family more important, but friends good also.
States a priority but doesn't explain why. And friends good also feels weak. like an afterthought.
Yeah, it lacks any real contrast or depth. Now, the Band 8-9 approach. I value both, but family comes first for me. They've been there through every stage of my life. Friends are important too, but that bond with family is irreplaceable.
Okay, this one acknowledges both, which feels more realistic for most people.
Yes, it validates both relationships before stating the priority. And the reason given for prioritizing family is quite powerful. They've been there through every stage of my life.
That really speaks to the foundational nature of family ties.
It does. And notice the stronger language at the end, that bond with family is irreplaceable. It emphasizes the unique nature of that connection.
So when comparing things like this, the idea is to acknowledge complexity, provide solid reasoning, and maybe use more impactful language.
Exactly. Show you've considered both sides, explain your stance clearly, and use words that convey the depth of your feeling.
All right, final question, number 10. Do you think it's easy to make new friends as an adult?
The Band 5 response is pretty negative. No. Adult busy. No time talk new people.
Short, a bit grammatically flawed, and quite definitive. Just no and simple reasons.
It paints a rather bleak picture without acknowledging any possibilities.
Okay, and the Band 8-9.
Making friends as an adult can be challenging because of busy schedules and fewer social opportunities, but I believe it's still possible if you make the effort to connect through work or shared hobbies.
Much more balanced. It starts by acknowledging the challenges, busy schedules, fewer social opportunities, shows understanding.
Right, it validates the difficulty that many adults experience, but then...
It offers a path forward. It doesn't just stop at it's hard.
Exactly. But I believe it's still possible if you make the effort, and it even suggests how connect through work or shared hobbies. It offers hope and potential solutions.
So for complex questions, it's good to acknowledge the difficulties, but also explore possibilities or solutions.
Definitely. Avoid overly simplistic yes or no answers. Show you understand the nuances and perhaps offer some constructive thoughts.
Okay, so we've gone through all 10 questions. As we wrap up this deep dive, what are the main things we've seen that separate those basic answers from the really insightful ones?
Well, I think the biggest difference is consistently about adding layers. The better answers provide details, context, specific examples. They use richer vocabulary, and crucially, they connect ideas logically.
Right. They don't just state something. They explain it, illustrate it, give reasons why.
Exactly. It moves beyond just sort of ticking a box for answering the question to actually painting a picture and revealing something meaningful about the speaker's perspective.
It's like we saw how adding those details, a bit more explanation, a specific memory or feeling, transforms a simple sketch into, well, a much more vivid and insightful portrait of their friendships and how they see them.
And it's so important to remember this isn't just an academic exercise, These aren't just tricks for answering questions well.
No, absolutely.
This is about how you communicate in your actual life. Being able to articulate your thoughts and feelings about something as vital as friendship, doing that with more clarity. That deepens your own understanding.
And potentially strengthens your connections with others too, right? If you can express yourself better.
Precisely. Better understanding, better communication, potentially stronger relationships.
Okay, so a final thought for you, our listener, to maybe mull over. Think about one of your own answers to a question like these. Maybe how you describe a best friend or how your friendships have changed. What specific detail or feeling or maybe a short example could you add right now to make that description even more insightful, more engaging, more you? Something to think about.